At what point does the satisfaction of acquiring an object and the accompanying release of a gnawing thought outweigh the spatial costs and the guilt of acquiring the thing solely for the sake of having it? I recently finished putting up all the stuff on my bookshelves, and there's this particular book that I wanted to talk to you about. No, not that one. This one. You see, the Bartimaeus trilogy was possibly the most underrated thing I read in middle school that I loved dearly. And the last book, Ptolemy's Gate, was my absolute favorite. It was the culmination of the character Nathaniel's development and the closest look we ever get into seeing the backstory of Bartimaeus the Djinn. And overall, it was just this beautiful way of ending the story that was just the right amount of despair and redemption and sorrow and satisfaction. And in short, I loved it. So it must have been a kind of fate that of the three, Ptolemy's Gate was the one that decided to disappear on me. I have absolutely no idea how I lost that book in the first place. It never left my room, let alone my house. But one day I looked at my shelf and it just wasn't there. And this was in 2009, maybe 2008. And for years, I firmly believed that it was going to show up soon. I would look at my shelf and see that there were only 2 books, and every time I would feel this twang of discomfort that the trilogy was sitting there incomplete. And for years I thought, it's going to turn up. Of course it is. I have Facebook photos of my bookshelf from every year pretty much, because I tend to reorganize it a lot. And every single time I write a very long status about how that book is just not there and it should be. And so 8 years worth of thinking about this book and constantly grumbling about its loss went past. And it was only a very short while ago that I finally decided, okay, yeah, I'm never gonna find the book, it's just not here anymore. And that was the moment when my house decided to be remodeled and all of the things had to be packed up and stored, and we still did not find it. And what other way could we ever have unearthed something? So, yeah. And then during this winter break, I was buying gifts for children and saw the book in a bookstore, and I picked it up and finally decided to spend the $10 on it for peace of mind. And what a relief it gave me. There was just so much satisfaction to see this in place with the other 2 books where it belongs. And this object literally brings me joy by its very physical presence. Does that make me very capitalist? I mean, if my whole library were to go away to, like, nice people somewhere, I'd pretty much be fine with it. But seeing this book with its siblings, was I ridiculous in not buying it sooner? I don't really know. Like, empirically, if you take into account all the negative feelings and the brainpower and the time spent telling people about my frustrations, I feel like the scales tipped somewhere before the 8-year mark. But when exactly? Please help. This question has been bugging me. Have any of you had a similar experience holding back from buying this inexpensive thing that ended up being way bigger of a problem than it was worth? I don't really know why I hold back from this, because this literally is the cost of like 2 bobas. Anyway, that's just a question that's been bugging me, and I would like to know what everyone thinks about that. And also let me know if you're interested in any more of my stories about my books. So, now that that's off my chest, I might actually read this again, and then put it back where it belongs, with the other 2 books. I will see you again soon.